Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us to right path. Tonight we have a vocabulary lesson and the rule of using used to and be used to. So waiting for the students to join the class. Welcome to our English class. I hope you can hear me and you can see the slide as well. And I don't know if there is any echo. Noor Abdullah, I hope you can hear me. Okay, great. Can you hear me clearly? Is there any echo? Can you hear me clearly? Is there any echo? Okay, great. So our class tonight is gonna be about a vocabulary and be used to a rule. We are gonna talk because some people often got confused using used to plus an infinitive and be used to plus an ing form because they look similar. They are completely, however, they are completely different. So the first one, we will start with our goals for this class. We have many goals for this class. The first one, the students be able to remember the past tenses, and the students be able to do exercises on these tenses also, and the students be able to ready for how to use this vocabulary. So the first one is, do you know these words? Like, for example, the word travel, trip, journey, to, voyage, cruise, flight, excursion, expedition, arrive, get, reach, come, and approach. Do you know one of these? Can you mention any one? Can you know a meaning of one of these words? Can it a voyage? What is voyage? This one. What is voyage? Okay, the yellow one. What is a voyage? A sea trip. Alright, good job. Great, good. That sounds awesome. Great. Okay. So if we start from, what about the word travel? Do you know what is the meaning of a travel? What is the meaning of the word travel? Go from, okay, great. So good job, Noor. Okay, it's almost the same thing. Travel is a verb to go from one place to another as on a trip or a journey. This is the word travel. What about a trip? Trip is a noun, going from one place to another. And the journey, to travel over or through. A tour, it's a trip with visits to various places of interest, for business, for pleasure, etc. Voyage, as you just mentioned, it's a long journey. It's a long journey to a foreign or distant places, especially by sea. The difference between those things, the voyage is a long journey, but by sea. A long journey by sea, voyage. A cruise is it's a lot of meaning. It has a lot of meaning, but a cruise is to travel on a boat or ship to a number of places as a vacation. So a cruise is to travel on a boat or ship to a number of places as a vacation. The word flight, next Friday I have flight to Jeddah. I'm gonna travel from Riyadh to Jeddah on Saudi Airlines. My flight will be at 5 5:30. So flight could be a lot of things, but here is a distance covered in such a flight. You can say this, a distance covered in such a flight. Okay. Excursion is it's like a short trip. It's a short trip, especially for pleasure. Expedition. Expedition is a journey, especially by a group of people for a specific purpose. Like, for example, to explore distant places or to do research. It's sometimes for a scientific purposes. I arrive early to my home. Arrive, it means to reach a place after being sent or traveling. Arrive. Get, it's like the word get, it's to gain, obtain. Reach, to arrive at a certain time or certain place. Come, it's like, for example, moving towards something or someone. Approach, it's like getting close to, more or become near to something or someone. So all these words, it's related about the vocabulary, but it's almost the same thing, except a voyage and excursion, a cruise also by sea. The difference between those things, voyage and cruise, at all and the sea. Let's move to number. And here is the confused word. So travel, which is a verb used without an object, like, for example, and the past simple and the present participle. So verb used with object, traveled, traveling, or especially British, traveled, double L, the difference between the British English and American English with double L. Travel, traveling, and traveled. To go from one place to another, as by car, train, plan, or ship, to take a trip, to travel for pleasure. This is the word travel. The second one, trip, is a noun, and it has many meanings. We will just provide you with just one meaning or two meanings according to number one, a journey or a voyage. It's a journey or a voyage, like, for example, to win a trip to Paris, And the second one, a journey or a voyage, or a run made by a boat, a train places, and made by boat, train, buses, or the like between 2 points. It's a short trip from Baltimore to Philadelphia. Okay, now we'll move to next slide. Word journey is a noun, as we said or mentioned before. Plural is journeys. Just add an S to the word journey. Traveling from one place to another, usually taking rather a long time. 6-day journey across the desert. This is an example of using the word journey. Number two, distance. A course or area traveled or suitable for traveling. A desert journey. Number three, a tour. Traveling around from place to place. Like, for example, long journey, including the visiting of a number of places and sequences, especially with an organized group led by a guide. It's a tour. It's like a school tour to different distance, different places to visit. So a voyage, as we mentioned before, it's a long journey to a foreign or distant place, especially by sea. The word cruise, the past of the word cruise is cruised. It's a verb used also without an object. Cruising is the present participle. To sail about on a pleasure trip. Number two, to travel about without particular purpose or destination. to travel at a moderately fast, easily controllable speed, cruising along the highway, enjoying the scenery. This is an example of the word flight, the act of or power of flying, the distance covered, as we mentioned before. It's like a distance covered in such a flight. Excursion, and here is an example: 500-mile flight, the flight of the ball. The word excursion, we said a short trip, especially for pleasure. Short trip to some places, usually for a special purpose, and with the intention of promote return. A pleasure excursion, a scientific excursion, a trip on a train, ship, etc. To reduced rate, weekend excursion to mountain resorts. And the third meaning, the group of persons making such a journey, excursion of tourists. Expeditions or expedition, it's a journey or voyage made for some specific purposes, as a for or exploration. A group of persons, ships engaged in such an activity. And here is an example: a large expedition of scientists and military personnel. Arrive, verb used without an object. Arrive, this is the past participle, and the present participle arriving. To come to a certain point in the course of travel, reach one destination. He finally arrived in Rome. Mr. Noor, we just revising the vocabulary with its meaning and an example, and I know it's gonna be boring to lecture, but we should read it, then we will do the exercise. Okay, thank you, Mr. Noor Abdullah. And the last two words is come, verb. It's used without an object. Came, come, coming, to approach or move toward a particular person or place. Come here, don't come any closer. These are an example of using the word come. To arrive by a movement or in the course of progress. The train from Boston is coming. And when we add the ing, what can we do, Noor? Here, coming. The word coming here, I'm gonna underline it. What can we add here, or what should we do? The words coming. It's easy. Okay, great. Wallahi, good job. Yes, super awesome. You just do this job. Okay, coming, to remove an e when you want to add an I in an ing. The last word is approach. The last word is approach. It's a verb used with object. To come near or nearer to. The cars slowed down as they approached the intersection. Reach is a verb used with an object, has a lot of meaning. To get to or get as far as in moving, going, traveling, etc. The boat reached the shore. And to come or to arrive at some course of progress, action in, etc. For example, your letter never reached me. Get, to go after, take hold of, and bring for one's own. Would you get the milk from the refrigerator for me, please? And here is the last word. So now we will do the exercise together according to what we have just explained or discussed together. Choose the correct answer. I will give you a few. Welcome to Malak and Anizi. I hope you can hear me and you can see the slide as well. By typing number 1, it means that you are okay. Welcome to our class, Malak. Can you hear me, Malak? just type number 1. It means that you are okay. Okay, thank you. We just revising these words. What is the meaning of journey, travel, trip, and tour? Journey, travel, trip, and tour. So try to do this exercise. It's like a part of our class to do such an exercises. So about 1, 2, 3, 4. To go from one place to another, as by car, train, plane, or ship. Is it a journey or travel? What do you think, Malak and Noor? Is it a journey or travel? Just choose one. Number 2. It's a short trip. You okay, Malak? No worries, no problem. I'm gonna try to say everything in easy English, okay? Easy English. So just choose journey and travel. What is the meaning of journey, Malak? Do you know what is the meaning of journey in English? Because Arabic is not allowed during this class. To be honest with you, we will try to help you. We'll give you something easy. Noor, what did you choose, Noor? To go from one place to another. A travel, great. A travel, it's like Malak, when you wanted to travel, it means to go from place to another place. Like for example, tomorrow I'm gonna travel by my car from Riyadh to Jeddah. Travel. I'm going to the airport to take the airplane to travel. Did you get it? What is the meaning of travel? Because Arabic is not allowed. You can just Google it. You can just use electronic dictionary. So the word travel is going to be used by Noor. It's great. Good job, Noor. I hope Malak understand what is the meaning of travel. Malak, when you want to travel to Dammam, you can go to King Khalid Airport to travel to Dammam using an airplane or a car. So travel, this is the word that we are looking for. The second one is, it's a short trip tour from Baltimore to Philadelphia. Is it a short trip or tour? What do you think, Noor and Malak? What do you think? Is it a short trip or tour? What do you think? Is it a trip or tour? I think it's Malak. No Arabic, please. When you want to ask, just English, please. No Arabic, please. Can you understand me, Malak? Because Arabic is not allowed. I'm gonna try to help you with make it simple. Okay, so traveling from one place to another, usually taking it's a short trip from Baltimore to Philadelphia. It's a good try. Thank you to you, Noor, and thank you to you, Malak. It's a good try. What about number 3? Traveling from one place to another, usually taking a rather long time. Do you think, is it a travel or a journey? What do you think, Noor or Malak? Is it number 1, journey or travel? It's a journey. Okay, great. Good job. Good job, Noor Abdullah. Great. It's a journey. Bravo. Super awesome. It's a journey. Thank you to you, and this is for you, Malak al-Anazi. You are doing good. Number 4, the long journey, including the visiting of number of places in sequence, especially with an organized group led by a guide. Like for example, when you go to visit like a museum, what we call it? It's called a trip or a tour. Which one? Is it a trip or tour? Okay, Noor is tour. What about you, Malak? Do you agree with Noor? It's a trip. Okay, Malak, trip is like going from one place to another. Okay, this one, that's yours. Tour is a trip which, a trip with visits to various places of interest for business, for pleasure. So the word tour is going to be a good choice here. But a long journey, including the visiting of a number of places and sequences, especially with an organized group led by a guide, is going to be a trip. Great, good job, Malak. Thank you, Malak, and thank you to you, Noor. Number 5, to travel about or without a particular purposes or destination. What do you think? Is it a cruise? Or what do you think? Is it a cruise or trip? Is it the word cruise or trip? We just mentioned the cruise is to travel on a boat or ship to a number of places as a vacation. What do you think? Is it a cruise or Noor Abdullah is a cruise. What about you, Malak? Noor, choose this one. A cruise. What about you, Malak? Do you agree with her? Do you agree with Noor? It's a cruise. Great. Good job. Yes, both of you are great. Good. Super. Awesome. Thank you all. Okay, number 6, the distance covered or the course taken by flying. The distance covered or the course taken by flying. Is it a journey or flight? Flight, Noor Abdullah, flight. Welcome to Amir Al-Ya'la. I hope you can hear me and you can see the slide as well. By typing number 1, it means that you are okay. Is it a flight or a journey? Because Noor just mentioned the word a flight. Sorry, I am late. It's okay, Amir. We just it's really appreciated for your comment. Thank you so much, Amir. So the word is gonna be Noor. It's gonna be a flight. Number 7, the group of persons making such a journey. Is it an excursion or voyage? What do you think, Noor, Malak, or Amir? Do you think it's an excursion or voyage? Can you think of? Because an excursion, a short trip, especially for pleasure. This is the word. A voyage is like, for example, it's like a long journey to a place, especially by sea. Okay, Malak, a voyage here is by sea, so the word is going to be an excursion. An excursion, okay? But it's a good try, Malak. It will be appreciated. Great. The last one for this vocab class, a voyage made for some specific purposes as a war or exploration. Is it an expedition or a journey? What do you think? Is it an expedition or a journey? Because we mentioned the word expedition, it's a journey especially by a group of people for a specific purpose, like for example, to explore distant places or to do research. What do you think? Is it an expedition? And this will be great. Good job, Noor. Malak, it's a good try because we just say journey is to travel over or through. But if the voyage made for some specific purposes, the closest meaning is expedition. Okay, great. Noor Abdullah, Malak, and Amir Al-Ya'la. And we just reached these words now. Okay, the grammar rule with use 2. Would you like Noor Abdullah or Malak Al-Anizi or Amir Al-Ya'la to read the sentence? Can you try, Noor, Malak, Amir? Who wants to read the sentence? Can you try, Noor? Noor, no mic. Okay, you don't have your mic. And what about you, Malak and Nazik? Could you try? Oh, you don't want to read. Okay, so let me. What about you? What about you, Amir? Oh, sorry, it's okay. So I used to go to bed late at night, but now I go to bed early. So do you think used in what tense of this sentence? The first part. Let me divide it to you here. This part before the comma. What is the tense? Is it in the present? Is it in the future? What tense do you think? Past. Wallah, you are doing great. Welcome to Asil one. I hope you can hear me and you can see the slide as well. By typing number 1, it means that you are okay. Asil, can you hear me and can you see the slide as well? Hello, Asil. Okay, so I used to go to bed. It's about past as our hi, Asil. It's about a past habit. We use it with a past habit. So past a habit. So when should I use used to? Used to after it base form. The verb should be without any add, with no ing, no s for the present, no ed, just the base form, the verb one. So used to, it's a past habit, a past habit. So some people often get confused with using used to plus an infinitive. We can call this one an infinitive, verb one or infinitive. Let me try to type the word infinitive for you. So the word infinitive means verb one. So used to plus an infinitive to talk about what? Things that happened in the past that no longer happen now. So for example, I used to go to bed late at night. I used to go to bed late at night, but now I go to bed early. So this is something past, not now, past. So I used to go to talk about things that happened in the past, actions or states that no longer happen now. Okay? Is that okay with you? Noor, Malak, Amir? Okay. Let's now move to another example. So the word used to, thank you Malak, thank you Amir, thank you Noor. What about you, Asil one? Is it clear for you? Or just feel free to ask if you have any questions, any comments. So I used to go to bed at night, but now I go to bed early. We used to talk about things that happened in the past, like a past habit that no longer happen now. But now I go to bed early. Okay? Let's now move to the second one. I am used to living in Saudi Arabia. Asil, would you like to read the sentence for us, please? Asil one, can you try to read? Because Noor and Malak and Amir, there is a problem with their mic, I think. What about you, Asil? Would you like to read? Okay, I'm used to living. What is the difference between the first and the second one? Here is verb be. We call it the verb to be. We call it be, which could be am, as, so the be here. So the difference between the first and the second one, here is the verb to be. There is a verb to be. I am used to living, the verb with an ing. We add So here is verb plus ing. Here is the verb plus an ing. So when should I use be used to? If you are used to something, you are accustomed to do it. You don't find it unusual. Like for example, it's like you are becoming accustomed to do it. It wasn't strange, now it's not so strange. Okay, let me try to type it here. You are accustomed to it. So it was strange at the beginning, but now it is not strange. I am used to living in Saudi Arabia. It was strange, but now it is not strange. I am accustomed to do it. It's an easy to figure out what is the difference between I am used to and used to. Okay, it's going to be clear with this in example. So used to plus the base form of a verb. I'm gonna abbreviate it with you. Verb 1, which means there is no ed, no ing, no s, is used to talk about an activity that was repeated habitually in the past, but which is not done now. I used to smoke, like somebody who was a smoker, and smoking, by the way, is a bad habit. So I used to smoke, but now I quit smoking. But be, which is could be here am, is, are, used to plus gerund, which is a verb ing, verb plus ing. Gerund means, if you don't know what is the meaning of gerund means verb plus an ing. Is used to talk about something that has become familiar or habitual. It's like a part of my habit. I'm used to drinking a green tea. I'm used to do. It was strange at the beginning, but now it's okay. It will be clear now with. And here we are going to talk about. What? I didn't get your seal. What do you want to ask about? You have any questions, but it's not clear for me, please. Try to type it, and I'm gonna be more than happy to help you with. So the word would now, when should I use the would? Do you know what? You know what is the meaning of be? The verb to be, if it's in the present, like, for example, is, are, this is the present, this is verb, yes. This is be, is, and the present. If it was in the past, like, was, were, and so on. These are the verb to be. This is be, verb to be. Is it clear for you now, Asil? Okay, so I'm waiting for you, Asil, but it's okay. Do you think if this example is correct? Like, for example, when I was a child, I would dream of being a millionaire. Okay, so would here, we use it, we can use would to talk about a repeated past actions. Repeated past actions. Let me try. We can use would to talk about repeated past actions. So we can use would. This is the word that we are asking you about it now. We can use would to talk about repeated past actions. So when I was a child, I would dream of being a millionaire. So it's about also repeated past action. Would can be used to talk about an action that happened regularly in the past. So as we mentioned, repeated past action used this way would means the same thing as used to. So would and used to, it is almost the same. When I was a child, I would dream of being a millionaire. It equals when I was a child, I used to. Let me try to underline to you now. Here would, and here is used to, the same thing. So would and used, they are, or both of them are the same thing. Used to is for an activity that was repeated habitually in the past, but which is not done now. But would can be used to talk about situation that was true in the past. It will be clear through these examples. Let me try now. There is like for example, I used to have like for example a car called Toyota. Like for example, I used to have like for example a camel called like for example Dolly. So here used to, also can I put I used to have a camel called Dolly. It's almost, we can use the past simple in the same way as used to. And this is the use of would and used to and would. We reached the summary, and this is the end of our class. If you have any questions, any comments, feel free to ask. We just talk about confused words, revising the confused words vocabularies, the form of use of these common grammar rules, doing exercises, and related to discussing topics. And here is the references. Any questions before leaving? Any questions? You are most welcome. It will be appreciated. Any questions, Amir? Or okay, thank you so much, and be well and have a great night. I would like to thank you all for the great effort you have made during this class. We just talk about the vocabulary, the word travel, trip, journey, tour, voyage, and cruise, flight, excursion, expedition, and arrive and get, reach, come, and approach. And we just also talk about using used to plus an infinitive and be used to. People often get confused about the use of used to plus an infinitive and be used to form, because they look similar, but they are different and completely they are completely different. Used to plus an infinitive, like for example, I used to eat meat, but I became a vegetarian 3 years ago. We used to talk about things that happened in the past, actions that no longer happen now. And be used to, if you are used to do something, you are accustomed to it. You don't find it unusual. Like for example, I am getting used to driving on the right lane. This is an example, and you just try to do such an exercises. I hope it was a clear lesson for you. Thank you all, and have a great night. Goodbye and see you soon. Bye Malak and bye Noor Abdullah, and we will inshallah see you tomorrow. Okay, في أمان الله.